Welcome back to the C Show. I'm Charlie.
I'm Connor.
Jared suffered a non-contact injury during training. His status is week to week. However, we will keep you updated here on the C Show. Jared, we wish you all of the best. Well, what a Wednesday to start off, right? First off here from NBC News, anti-ice chant erupts at AEW Pro Wrestling Show in Las Vegas, pausing main event match at the AEW World Championship Eliminator match, which was being broadcast live on TBS and HBO Max. A loud and sustained cry against immigration and customs enforcement of "fuck ice" reverberated through the audience before the opening bell rang. Reigning champion Maxwell Jacob Friedman looked shocked as the chant began, staring into the camera wide-eyed before scanning the crowd. Brody King in the opposite corner can be seen looking at the audience and nodding. Love it. So this is the main event of Dynamite last week, which we're going to talk about here in just a few moments. But right before the match breaks out, Fuck Ice starts through the crowd. I was just like watching on my Mac, just normal computer speakers. And then I was like, main event time, headphones time. Blast up the volume. Make sure we hear all of it. They didn't bleep it on the HBO Max replay, which is incredible. A note here. Bryce Remsburg tweeted, quote, "It seems like the referee may have waited to ring the bell so these could resonate longer." Oh, no.
Oh, wait. And who's Bryce?
He's the referee of that match.
Oh.
I should have mentioned that. But Bryce immediately tweeted. He was like, tweeted in response to, I think, TMZ. And he was like, yeah, shoot. If the referee may have waited longer to ring the bell so these could resonate longer. Oh, no. Whoops. MJF was all over Radio Row before the Super Bowl, if you're not familiar. All your favorite NFL podcasters, basically every major sports podcast, also goes out to show, basically. Podcast brain over here. So, like, I was listening to Casuals last week driving home, and MJF and Orange Cassidy, Tony Storm were all, or no, MJF wasn't on Casuals. They had Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch and I think somebody else from the Federation. The Bella Twins. That's who they had on. The Bella Twins were fantastic. Because they keep talking. I think Brie, they talked extensively about Brie's chest. Yes. Excellent. Or it's Nikki's chest. The ones that exploded.
Oh, yes, that was Nikki.
Yes, that was Nikki. Brie has not been in action yet. But MJF has been all over Radio Row. His comments on anti-ice chants. This is from 411 Mania, based on the interview that he did on the Ross Tucker show on Radio Row. Quote, "Right now, I think what people want more than anything is rest and reprieve from all the horrible shit that's going on in the world. And I'm glad that's something I get to provide at AEW. And another thing that's great at AEW is our fans have a voice. So I'll say, literally last night, we were in Vegas and they started a fuck ice chant. Now, I don't care what side of the political line that you land on. There's no other wrestling promotion that wouldn't censor the fans, but we don't do that. We're the listening company. So if all the fans want to chant that, we're going to let them chant that. And I think that inherently really cool and awesome. And I think that's what makes my company special. We don't censor the fans and it's nice." Fightful Select. This is from yesterday's Q&A episode. Sean Ross Sapp did. Ross, not Rice. I just love white rice, people. I don't know what to tell you. Gluten-free diet. Sean Ross Sapp said that AEW is happy with the reaction, the media coverage. There is no plan for Brody to be the world champion right now, but things can always change. That dude is over, according to Sean Ross Sapp. It's just one of those things. Another question, somebody else asked kind of the similar question as well. Like, hey, what's the AEW reaction to that? It has seemed pretty positive. That like, hey, we're doing this, we're different. I think it's appealing to a lot of people who are looking at the WWE. I should be able to talk today. Red leather, yellow leather. People watching the WWE and going like, well, this isn't worth my time. I don't feel comfortable watching this. They can go to AEW and feel comfortable. It's pretty nice to like watch something and know, hey, I align with the values and morals of the people making this.
Yeah, it's really awesome for them to do that. Like, at a point, they turn the crowd up and kind of turn everything else down, right? Mm-hmm. The commentators give it a minute to breathe. The ref gave it a minute to breathe. And again, they do censor other things. Like, yes. They censor their own wrestlers all the time.
The time.
It was a clear choice. Like, you know, like we made the jump for a reason. Plenty of other people are making the jump for, similar reasons as well. And it does feel better to be able to sit down at the end of the day and go, okay, this is rooted in something good, right? The idea of wrestling as a whole and why we do this show and all is that it's inclusive. It's for everybody. And you're either with that or you're not.
Yeah, basically. Listen, you don't have to sell me on that, but you know what I do want you to sell me on? I want you to sell me on why you love wrestling. Now, whether that's a wrestler you love, a promotion, a match type, a rivalry, a move, whatever it is about wrestling that you love, we want to talk about it. So we just want to have more guests on the show. And I talked about this with you and some other people, but the idea of people talk to me and they're like, oh, you should talk about so-and-so and you should talk about so-and-so. It's like, well, unfortunately, just the way that we've done this so far, it's not amenable to that. But I think this is a way that we can do that. We can have some friends on, bring some guests on, some people that we've sponsored previously, have them come on, talk about why they love wrestling, what they love about wrestling specifically, and sell us on something. So if you're thinking about this, we're looking to watch 3 to 5 matches and do about a half-hour show. So keep that in mind when you're suggesting something. If you already have a subject in mind, we can work with that. If you can come to me and you've got 3 YouTube links and you're like, let's watch this stuff, that's beautiful. Let's get going. Let's get cooking. So send in any ideas to cshowpod@gmail.com. That's C as in Charlie or Connor, SHOWPOD@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you. I'm really excited about this.
No, I'm very excited because I know you're saying it's mostly for other people, but I've kind of been stocking up some ideas of my own, especially as like the one who's, quote unquote, like more senior with the wrestling of different things. Because again, it's easy to be like, this is why I like John Cena. It's like whatever. Like I want to find stuff that people don't like. Like I was wondering if I could do one on like the Buried Alive or the Inferno matches that people almost always look at and go, oh, it's predictable, it's this and that. But like they're still fun. You can still do stuff with it. So I got plenty of things brewing. I can't wait to hear what we get from our audience and all, and I'm excited to get that ball rolling soon.
Yeah, and speaking of balls rolling, let's get this show on the road. It's the C Show. Welcome back to the C Show. We start off with basically 6 quick intros. MJF says he's not scared of Brody. I see men like you all the time in New York City. When I'm done with you, boy, you're not going to have a pot to piss in. Brody's going to hurt MJF bad, and he can't talk his way out of this one. We snap over to Kenny. Kenny says 1 win, and we're closer at AEW Gold. Don Callis orchestrated this attack. Don Callis' attempts to end Kenny. Don Callis' attempts to end Callis are impotent. Don Callis, now we snap over to him.
You just did the Don Callis.
I know,
Don
I did
Callis
that on purpose.
Again. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Ha 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 ha.
Now we snap over to Don Callis. It's the Don Callis Wrestling Promotion presents Don Callis' Dynamite. Kenny, my little bleep, you're in the ring with a real man in Andrade. Now we snap over to the Babes of Wrath. They are living their dreams. Every night they get to fight for their dreams. Finally, the mega bad, Megan Bain and Penelope Ford have leave a trail of bodies, and Ford has been on the sidelines for weeks. Oh, folks, we're cooking here. As we start off right off with a trios match, Death Riders, Pac, Daniel Garcia, and Jon Moxley versus the Don Callis family, El Clone, Konosuke Takeshita, and Josh Alexander. I loved this. This was 6 of the men's division's best, and 3 really interesting members from the Callis family working together in Clone, Takeshita, and Alexander. What's your move of the match?
I had 2 things that I really loved. One, Alexander hits a really nice Northern Lights suplex, which is basically a suplex where you keep the leg locked and go over the top. He did it to Pac, who just like... Big man fall hard.
Big man fall hard.
I know he's not super tall, but he's a thick dude, and he got him over there. And then for me, it was another one near the end, not the finish, but Takeshita hits a humongous blue thunder bomb, that spinning power bomb, and he really torqued him when he slammed Garcia down for a 2.
Oh, yeah. Again, right after that, my move of the match is Takeshita's German suplex, where he's basically going from floor to floor, a full 180 degrees on that. And he does it again. The Don Callis family shows off their death spiral. Takeshita power drive, knee to Garcia. Garcia kicks out again. Raging firebomb into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Takeshita wins for the Callis family. Mox and Takeshita face off after the match. Moxley on the floor looking up at Takeshita. That was really interesting because you had Mox on the floor by commentary and you had Takeshita looking down at him on the ropes. And now they're going at each other for the Continental Championship. Is that foreshadowing, an ominous sign of things to come?
Oh, man, maybe. That's going to be so good. Like,
Yes.
There's so many ways they can cut in. Again, the continuing tension between the Death Riders and the Don Callis family were so long. Like, they've been mentioned in promos. Like, we let each other exist.
Yes.
But, you know, it's basically turning into this town ain't big enough for the two of us.
I mean, it basically is, right?
Yeah.
Because the Callis family is becoming so enormous. Meanwhile, the Death Riders stay lean and mean. Speaking of lean and mean, you like wine, right?
I do.
Do you want to discover new wines delivered straight to your door?
I do. I want some new reds in my life.
You know what? At Naked Wines, you can do that right now. You can claim your $100 voucher right now at the link in our description. You can get boxes, bottles of all styles delivered right to your home right now. What kind of reds do you like, Connor?
I like a good Sauvignon Blanc.
A Sauvignon Blanc is a white wine. You're thinking of a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, I thought it's Cabernet Sauvignon.
Correct.
Oh, see, that's why I need more wine.
Yeah, absolutely. I love a Cabernet, Malbecs, Pinots, all sort of kind of like dry red wines. Those are excellent. But no matter if it's white, rosé, or red, you can get it at Naked Wines. Visit linktr.ee/C-Show-pod or click on the link in the description. You're directly supporting the C-Show. We do have some fine print here. Please make sure to check the terms and conditions. 21 plus, only where applies. Please enjoy responsibly. Speaking of enjoying responsibly, Swerve Strickland is with Renee Paquette. Prince Nana speaks for Swerve. Our focus is where it's always been. Just because we lose one match doesn't mean we lose focus. I feel like that reverberates with what Moxley says later, and we'll get to that. But first up, Will Ospreay. We get a lot of behind the scenes of his neck surgery. This is really some scary stuff. Will says this is the biggest moment of his life. You know, next stuff, we've seen guys retire because of it recently. Elton Price over in the WWE. Kit Wilson now is being pushed just as a solo guy. But like Elton, I think I listened to most of the interview that Kit did with Chris Van Vliet. It sounds like Elton Prince is done. Like he's retired from the ring. He's 28. It's just, yeah. Like
it's scary stuff, man. Like you always hear wrestlers talk about it. Like, you know, Big E also had a neck injury.
Yes.
Basically said, you know, I'm ready to hang it up, right? That's originally why Nikki Bella stepped away, right? She's got back to the point. That's why Cope stepped away, right? And then had that big comeback. Like it's a common thing that comes up, and so many wrestlers talk about, do I want to continue doing this thing that I love and gives me so much and I can get back? Or do I want to make sure I can walk and play with my kids and have a healthy full-term life?
Yeah. Yeah, and those are very important decisions to make, for sure. And Will, we wish you the best, and, you know, we'll hope to see you soon in some capacity. There's got to be something for him to do in the world of wrestling. But as we return to the ring, mixed tags action, Orange Cassidy and Timeless Tony Storm versus Brittany Books and Jordan Oasis. Did you notice that the pyro now blows O's? It blows smoke O's, rings.
Oh, I did not. That's awesome.
Wow. Tony in the denim, incredible. Some notes here about our friends Brittany Brooks and Jordan Oasis. Brittany was number 187 in the 2024 PWI Top 25 Females. Jordan has appeared on AEW Dark on a July 19th episode in 2022. He lost to Jonathan Gresham. Later that year, he made his debut under the name Ryan Toombs for the WWE in September. My one move of the match here is Tony's hip attack on the bald man, Jordan Oasis. Excellent.
For me, it's like in the very beginning, like OC gives a playful slap, immediately puts his hands in his pockets, dodges the slap, from Oasis and delivers a front kick with his hand still in his pockets, a drop kick, I'm sorry, with his hand still in his pockets. Mm-hmm. And then I put he checks his future in Oasis's head.
I pulled out, listen, I don't want to get too graphic here, but I took a shower the other day and I was washing my hair. No, I don't wash my hair every day. And a little bit too much came out. And I was like, we may have to come up with we may have to do something in kayfabe for a hair match or something. I don't know what that is yet. Is it Mario Kart? Is it?
No, I feel like
because we got to milk it.
So what I'm thinking, we can cut to whatever else, but like, so I think it's got to be something like I have to play like a WWE game and have some kind of gauntlet or tournament, and it's like, right, I win, you lose your hair.
Yep.
Right, I lose mine. Like something like that. Like I feel like it's because it wouldn't be fair for us to compete in a wrestling game, but I feel like it's got to be something that like your only hope is a computer.
We will think about this more. We will brainstorm about this more. There are no bad ideas in brainstorming. That is quite a good one. That is quite a good one. But after Tony, kind of explores what his future will be on Jordan Oasis's head, and after Tony's hip attack, we get the orange punch, and it's over. 1, 2, 3. Tony provides the assist, and Luther comes in to assist Miss Storm. Orange is a little concerned about this. He doesn't know if it's a good idea. He likes his hair. Tony is very worried that she'll look like a boiled egg, a boiled penis. I can't be bald. I'll look hideous. I'll look grotesque, disgusting. Luther. Oh, I feel so bad for Luther, man.
So I literally consider this promo basically just like every day of life where it's like, oh my God, everything's bad. I can't be bald. It's my life. You can't be bald. And then she's like, well, I'm timeless Tony Storm, and you are freshly squeezed, so it's not going to go like that.
You'll have to give Wheeler Yuta a cute little comb-over or make Marina Shafir look like Mox. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And then again, Tony and Orange on media throughout Radio Row, they were fantastic. Another thing that Sean Ross Sapp said on Fightful Select, the Q&A, was that another great reaction from AEW front office people was that AEW talent did fantastic on Radio Row. They did a really good job representing the company, making people more interested in wrestling. There were, the others rolling about, but again, more people interested in wrestling, I think the better. Darby Allin has an unexpected visit from the War Dogs while skating backstage. Clark Connors throws a tire at him, and they stuff him in the trunk, Vegas style. They're going to a cornfield outside of Kansas City.
Just pulling on The Hangover?
That's Casino.
Well,
No, that's Casino. No. That's Casino. And anything that The Hangover did is a reference to Casino at that point.
Hey, look, I don't know, man. I didn't see a small man jump out of the trunk in a G-string of Casino and then smack someone in the face with a tire iron.
Have you seen Casino?
I have.
Okay, all right. I was like, I know that you haven't seen some movies.
No, that's one I've seen.
And I was like,
this might be bad. I've only seen like the on TV version.
I that's acceptable. I will take that.
Okay.
I will take that. Because that is a classic, like, I'm in a hotel room and I'm in a casino's on TV, done.
Chalk it.
I can't remember what, I was in a hotel room and I was like, oh, this movie's on, done, easy. Hangman Adam Page versus Mean Mark Davis. Apparently, Davis can earn a pretty penny if he injures Hangman. Callis set out a bounty again on the Hangman. Starts out as an pretty even brawl. Hangman brings the rope down and lets Davis roll over the top before bonking him on the head to bask in the crowd's adoration. What's your move of the match?
Oh man, I will limit it to one. Try and hold us down here. So it's definitely got to be.
We got so many hell yes during the parking lot brawl.
That's why I'm saying, like, I know other ones are going to go longer. So probably when Hangman throws Davis into the guardrail, and then Hangman actually goes up to the seating rails and does his moonsault, and then throws Davis in the ring just to hit another moonsault.
Beautiful. My move of the match is like right after that is Hangman countering the BT Bomber with the Rana move. Dueling lariats. Davis wins out before the Deadeye. I bet on the pin. I thought the Deadeye was going to be it. Tombstone on the ramp after Hangman carries Davis. Buckshot lariat. Pin to win. 1, 2, 3. Hangman wins. On the mic, heading to Australia, facing Kenny or Andrade, depending on how things end up. And MJF, Max, if I win that match at Revolution, I will stomp every last future child out of your tiny balls and take back my world championship that I never should have lost. Next up, we get the match that will determine who Hangman faces in Australia. It's Andrade El Idolo versus Kenny Andrade. Why did I write Kenny Andrade?
Yeah.
Kenny Omega. What's your move of the match?
Oh man, this was another just really great match. Like, I loved Andrade's suplex on the floor. I love the continued bit of him going to the crowd to celebrate with the women ringside.
Well, it was previously just a woman. Now it is a harem. It is a group of women.
Not a harem.
I don't know what else do you want to describe that as.
And then other than that, it was when Andrade goes for his, what I've been calling the bonus moonsault, where he does the moonsault, the guy rolls out of the way, and he does the standing moonsault, but Kenny gets the knees up. Because finally, I'm just like, if someone were smart, they would just put their knees up anytime they're on the ground. So I like when wrestlers pretend to be smart.
My favorite thing about the group of women ringside for Andrade is I don't think he had hey, this is theater discussion. This is kayfabe. We think this is real. You know, you're part of it. One of them posted on Instagram. It was like, this is so fake.
I did see that.
It's very important that if you're taking your friends to their first wrestling show, you should sit down with them and have a conversation with them and say, hey, the slapping is real, but everything else is just kind of fun. We're just having fun. We're just having fun here. I'm trying to think and then right after that is the back-to-back Snapdragon, V-Trigger in the corner. Of course, Callis comes in, tosses the screwdriver, distracts the referee. Swerve gets the screwdriver, gives it to the ref to let her know, hey, this is what's going on. While the referee's back is turned, the low blow into the DM. Andrade gets the pin and win. 1, 2, 3. Despite Swerve coming out and letting the referee know about the shenanigans happening, Andrade still cheated, still won, and he goes to celebrate with the Latinas.
And it's great. Again, a thing I love about
I've
wrestling.
Seen what you've done for others.
Is now, so Kenny and Swerve kind of come face to face. They're pushing each other till security comes in. But again, just loving the idea that, these guys are athletes, everything they do, and the product and watching tape is so important. And I'm sure that Kenny and Swerve are going to beef right now, where if Kenny goes back and watches the match, he would see, oh no, Swerve was just there to help because I would have gotten screwed by the screwdriver. But now they'll build this program with them, which is going to be freaking awesome. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, you need some of this stuff. Like, this is where you suspend your disbelief, and I'm out of school suspended right now.
Wow! Damn! Do they still do that? Do they still do it out of school suspension?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Renee talks with Chris Statlander. Thekla is to get another shot at the AEW title next week, but Chris gets to choose the stipulation. If Thekla's a good little girl, Big Stat Daddy will tell the world on Collision. I'm quoting this, folks. Pray that Cosmic Killer is just a nickname. In a AEW Women's World Tag Team Eliminator match, we've got the Mega Bad, the new name for Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford, versus the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale. As much as we're getting a lot of the Babes of Wrath right now, I don't have too many complaints. Hopefully we'll see Windsor and Hayter come in soon. Hopefully I would love for them to add another woman to the Death Riders so that Marina Shafir can get a Death Rider tag team partner. That would be fun and cool. Julia Hart, there's a thought.
I don't know. I wonder if they'll kind of pull Megan Bain back in, like how they did for the tournament, right? And created the mega problems.
Yes.
Like I would absolutely love that. They were so great working together as a tag team.
They were phenomenal as a tag team. Again, making lemons out of lemonade, or making lemonade out of lemons. What's your move of the match here?
Again, I'm going to keep it to one because we got to keep this moving, but probably when Penelope Ford hits a 2-for-1 blockbuster on both of the Babes of Wrath.
The blockbuster neck breaker?
Yeah, that's already a hard move, and it's like, well, I'll just go 2-for-1. Like that takes a lot. That's all of them working together for a sick move.
Yeah, this is indeed awesome. The crowd is chanting. DDT by Cameron, Spinebuster by Willow. Ford intervenes and slams Harley in the corner. The Mega Bad hit a combo DDT. Ford Doomsday Device on Cameron, and it's pinned to win by Bane. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. The Mega Bad will get a shot at the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Saturday, February 14th, Valentine's Day. Hope you got plans.
Currently we're just gonna go to Yards, because that's always our little like Friday date spots. We're like, so we just moved to Valentine's Day because people in my family know it's our spot, so we got some gift cards for Christmas that we've been sitting on. So
Cute.
I'm very excited.
Cute. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure that you didn't forget, because I totally forgot.
No, I didn't, and she doesn't listen, so it doesn't matter. She's been really into the unrivaled women's basketball, so I got her a Lunar Owls and a Phantoms. That's the two teams she's adopted. I got her shirts for each of those teams that are coming.
That's why I brought this up. I know that she doesn't listen, and then we'll send her the link later, and she'll be like, ah. Next up, Tommaso Ciampa is with the TNT Championship. Out of respect for the title, Mark Briscoe, I will continue the open challenge tradition. I will not be hard to find. Sylvie loves her new home, though. So he's named the belt Sylvie. Has this happened before? Has a wrestler named the belt, given it a pet name, in your experience?
I'm sure that it's happened. I can't pull it off the top of my head. Like,
It
people have
feels like
definitely always like personified it or giving them nicknames. Like, right, you think of MJF, right, the Big Burberry belt. As far as like referring to it as a person, not off the top of my head. And especially calling it Sylvie when it's a gold belt is very funny.
Yeah, that's where I was like, I guess Sylvia is the name that you're going with, but Sylvie, okay, interesting. This leads into the TNT three-way match, Roderick Strong versus Castagnoli versus Tommaso Ciampa this Saturday. In our penultimate match here in the AEW National Championship, it's Jungle Jack Perry versus Ricochet. Perry starts early, slams Ricochet to the ramp, and presents the belt. Perry with a big flip off of the ramp. Perry chops Ricochet against the barricade and brings him back in the ring to beat him up a little bit more. I mean, I think this was kind of a expected finish when Ricochet has a title with the Gates of Agony. But tell me, your move of the match.
So my move of the match, there's a sequence where Jack Perry jumps up and goes for a DDT on Ricochet. Ricochet catches him, hits a Northern Lights suplex, then deadlifts him up to suplex him again, and then hits another suplex on an apron, and then a Death Valley driver on the outside. Just 4 punishing moves in a row. Because again, everyone thinks Ricochet as this, more kind of lucha-inspired, fast. But he'll give it to you when he needs to.
Ricochet has got a deep bag, as you are one to say. But of course, the Gates of Agony come out to assist Ricochet. Toa Leona drags Ricochet to the ropes, but the Young Bucks are here to help. Charity Khan, a diving crossbody to Leona, the belt on the turnbuckle, Perry thrown into it, a vertigo. Pin to win, 1, 2, 3. Ricochet wins and retains.
I do just want to point out real quick, because like you pointed out, Ricochet throws Jack Perry into the title belt.
Yes.
And after Jack hits the belt, you can see he's kind of trying to kick it out of the ring. Because again, the ref should be like, why is the title belt in the ring?
That's a disqualification.
But he couldn't get it out. So then the ref just kind of looks around, just picks it up like nothing happened and hands it to Ricochet. Right, you always see that, whether it's a chair or whatever else, and they got to figure out, how do I get it out of the ring so the ref doesn't see it? And the ref's just like, I'm just going to no-sell it, whatever, ref's discretion.
Exactly. And again, Ricochet retains the national championship for another week. But what is it? Gabe Kidd hijacks the broadcast. Leave the production people alone. They are just doing their job. I guess Gabe has a video that they made, a selfie video. They're dragging a body bag behind a Jaguar, one of those classic sedans. Typically, they're wearing like British racing green, but this one's red. You know the one that I'm talking about. You know it. You're visualizing it. They're dragging a body bag behind that Jaguar. Who's in the body bag, Connor?
Who else?
Darby Allin. And they just dump him in the desert. Assault, kidnapping. There's got to be something about just like leaving somebody in the desert, right? Like some sort of legal code. I'll have to call our legal advisor about that.
Yeah, get the lawyer on retainer to let us know.
I love this. In our main event, I'm like, may have watched it a little bit later, so I knew that it was kind of gonna be quick, and I knew a lot of the other things that went on, and I was like, everything that happened was so beautiful, so well choreographed. At the top here, Brody comes out, woof, woof, woof. That's when the fuck ice chants start. MJF makes Bryce Remsburg take off his jacket, like I've been helping my dad take off jackets after he cracked 3 ribs. Hangman comes out like right after the bell rings. Like immediately. I was like, yo, what? Like I thought that we were going to get a little something. I thought that's how we were going to get Sleeper on the ropes and then Hangman. But no, it's Hangman. MJF leaves the ring with Brody behind him. That's where Brody gets the Sleeper on the ropes. Cannonball. Gonzo bomb. And it's fucking over. 1, 2, 3. Brody just squashed the world champion. Bryce Remsburg just dumps the title on MJF, laying prone in the middle of the ring. Andrade attacks, back elbow counter, DM on MJF, Hangman buckshot on Andrade, buckshot again, but a low blow by MJF. A second Gonzo bomb by Brody. The sign behind says MJF cuts promo, Brody cuts lives.
I didn't see that one. That's fantastic.
Like, seriously, like that is probably one of my favorite episodes of Dynamite that we've watched. Probably since like Blood and Guts, honestly, where I've just been like, this has been really phenomenal. You start out with that trios match, you go into the mixed tag action, building up to this hair match. Hangman again making lemonade with Mark Davis, and then this build up with the AEW Men's Championship is really fascinating. It's really fascinating. Your thoughts before we move on to Collision here?
Yeah, man, another full one. Like, again, I feel like a broken record, but they do such a good job continuing these stories throughout the week, even when people don't wrestle, and not with just the classic, like, I'm cutting a promo in the back and I don't like you, right? The whole thing with Darby Allin, right? And all that with the desert, right? Like, the actual humanity of Orange Cassidy and Tony being like, why did we agree to this? What the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
And then being like, doesn't matter, we got to effing do it anyway. Put your work boots on and let's cut some hair. Like, there's so much, like, it just feels more real. Like, again, that seems like a cop-out kind of answer. Like, it feels more real where it's like, I get why they did X or Y or what brought them here, right? To show their fear or, like, that actual self-doubt, right? And the idea of, right, climbing the mountain and getting there, right? I love the way that MJF and Brody King match went. Like again, I said last week, I'm like, oh, it'll be something. MJF will try and cheat and get caught. Like, right? Like, this is a great way for it to kind of settle out here. And it's like, well, okay, that match was so quick, like, right, you could say a fluke or whatever, but like it leaves the door open for when the title match comes. And unfortunately, you said earlier, there aren't really plans for Brody King at the moment as far as the world title, but like, you know, you never know.
You never know. Here on The C Show. Welcome back to the C Show. It's Collision. We're talking about Collision on the 7th of February. We start off with the Young Bucks versus The Demand, GOA. So Matt and Nick Jackson face off against Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. Did you see the custom money with the Bucks face on it?
I did. I loved it.
Fabulous. That's the word I'm going to go for. Toa Leona shows that sometimes it's brawn over brains.
Dude, like, I love the way they wrestle. Like, the Gates of Agony do such a good job of mixing up wrestling like big men and then being like, but let me show you what else I got in my bag. And we'll get to some of those things later. But like, again, early on, the Bucks try and do a double dive. the Gates of Agony catch them both, and then like they're on opposite sides of the ring, and then meet in the middle in front of commentary to. I always calls it to cheers them, just slam their two back together, and they just dump the Bucks on the ground.
I just like calling it bonking.
Not wrong.
I think one moment that I really loved, Matt slides through Khan's legs after baiting him, tagging in Nick. Nick comes out swinging. I couldn't get down all of the moves that he did, but it's an impressive sequence that ends with a crossbody pin that Khan kicks out of. I really loved it. It was just very fluid, and it shows them both as offensive and defensive talents. Really fantastic stuff.
And then again, the Gates of Agony just do simple stuff too. Like there's a point where they literally catapult Matt Jackson. I believe Bishop Khan catapults him into Leona, who just hits him with a headbutt.
Mm-hmm.
Just brutal.
Because you're thinking like, oh, what are they gonna do on the catapult? And it's just as simple as I'm just hit him with my head on head action.
Right, and the Bucks are, just continue. Like I forget what year they're in. I saw a thing. It's like year 21 of the Bucks, and they're still doing this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they have Khan hung up on the top rope by his legs. Nick is on the top rope, catty corner to him, does a double stomp on Leona's back, just to then roll through and hit a backstabber to the hanging Khan. That was my move of the match. Like a great sequence, hits both of them. Something I have never seen and would have never expected.
Oh, yeah, no, the Bucks just continue to blow me away. No one's home for Leona Senton, Nick Jackson, Escalera over the turnbuckle. Khan avoids the BTE trigger the first time, but it's enough the second. Nick's kick to Khan's knee allows the DDT combo move by the Bucks to turn it around, pin to win, 1-2-3. The Young Bucks are to face the Rascals and another wild card tag team next week. I keep typing wild card, and I'm like, that's the name of the tag team. No, it's not. Not yet. Not yet. FTR do have words for them. Big Stoke wishes to congratulate them, but in the year of our Lord, Beyonce Knowles, you think that you can be tag team champions?
Dude, the part where he says, and I didn't write down exactly where he's like, if I had any feeling in these legs, I would come down to the ring and show you myself or whatever it was. Just like, God. Like, Stoke's just a perfect, I hate you, but I love you so much.
They need to get him like a, I'm sure AEW sells like a fleece blanket. They need to get him rolling up in that, man. Oh my God, I would lose it. Like the Stokely Foundation blanket.
Yes, 1,000,000 times.
Connor
yes.
almost spit out his beer. Brody King wants to remind us that he just did exactly what he said he was going to do. He earned his title shot. They're right. It was the biggest win of my career. Until next week.
The biggest win of my life so far.
Something I was reading about Brody King is that before Brody King was in AEW and big on the independent stuff, the dude worked on I think it was season 7 through 12 of RuPaul's Drag Race. He was a lighting tech.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
From what I've read, the crew on the show and a lot of drag queens have nothing but nice things to say about it.
I'm not surprised. He seems like an awesome guy, top to bottom.
Yeah, no, indeed, the coolest guy. Put the belt on him. Renee introduces Chris Statlander. Thekla is already in the ring. Renee just goes, oh shit, and sprints out. Spear, the Sisters of Sin are here as well. Oh my God, the belt. Yikes. I've watched this video, but usually it's not during wrestling and, other things are happening. Thekla doesn't care about the stipulation. The end will always be the same. The end will be toxic. Thekla, you stupid bitch, Chris responds. Now you get to meet Straplander. I've also watched this video. Statlander calls it strap match. Julia says this will be easy.
I just want to know this whole thing where the Babes of Wrath and Statlander are working together. Mm-hmm. Statlander is getting held down and lashed the belt, and the Babes of Wrath just, we're good. Like there was that whole thing of them all working together, and because I don't believe they're on this show at all later, right? We don't even get a pre-tape or anything from them. I don't believe.
I don't think so. No.
So it's like that makes sense, but still, it's like this whole thing is how they're working together, and they're proud of each other now, and they just watched her get the shit smacked out of her.
Well, Julia says this strap match will be easy. Do you know what else is easy? Learning to speak a new language with confidence with Babbel. With Babbel, you'll learn practical and useful skills that you can apply right away so you can reach your goal of having real-life conversations faster. 92% of users improve their proficiency level in just 2 months, with 15 million subscriptions sold. If you want to learn a new language, what would it be?
With the Olympics going on right now, I would like to be able to speak Italian and go watch hella curling.
Como se dice? That means how do you say in Italian. So that's a good start. I would like to learn how to speak German, as I may be going to Germany. Or probably Czech, actually. Czech is the one that I want to focus on. My people are Czech. My mom's family is Czech. We're going to be going to Prague, hopefully. So, being able to order stuff in Czech would be very cool. Meeting dudes named Pavel. Well, if you want to brush up on your Italian, your German, your Spanish, real live languages, visit linktr.ee/cshowpod or click on the link in the description. You're directly supporting the C Show. Thanks. And back to the show, because we've got Lexi Nair talking with Kyle Fletcher. Kyle is concerned about ruining the tradition of the TNT Championship, but Okada approaches. We are family. I care about your success, unlike Takeshita. Okada wants him to be the TNT champion in Australia, but whoever wins tonight, make it clear that you want your title back. And a new vocal stem. Proto Okada. Next up, in a match you were very excited to talk about, talking to me last night at the Superb Owl, Scorpio Sky with Layla Gray and Christopher Daniels versus Kevin Knight with Speedball Mike Bailey.
I'm just going to jump in right away, because it even starts fantastic. So they lock up like collar and elbow, and they end up in the corner, and the ref's like, hey, break it up. Instead of breaking it up, they continue to keep like reversing each other, like who's against the ropes, to all four corners. And then they just get into a bunch of super technical chain wrestling, like trading arm locks and wrist locks, ending on top of each other. Like, just shows like both these guys got it, man. They both got it. Imagine them as a tag team. Skyjet speed. I don't know what it would have to be. Like, I know that they have Skyflight right now with the Martins and all as well, and Steel, but there's something there. Make another super group, whatever. Make wrestling into like 4 Monopoly super groups. Avatar style.
Well, and then you can have like leagues and points and stuff and more championships. My move of the match, I mean, it's either the pickup scoop slam by Knight, but Sky has his knees up for the standing UFO splash, or Knight catching Sky with the Hurricane Rana midair into the flying lariat, and then into the finale here, UFO splash, pin to win, 1, 2, 3 Knight. 1, 2, 3, Kevin Knight wins it.
Right, and they have the great show of respect after, like, Sky shakes his hand. Like, again, they're really getting ready to push Kevin Knight as, the next big thing. Like he said in his promo, he's like, like, everyone says I'm the future, like, I'm right now. And I agree. Like, if you don't put more titles on this man, if you don't let him just start going crazy with any and everyone, like, I really feel like his Continental Classic was only the tip of the iceberg.
Yes. No, I feel like that was really a floater to be like, okay, can we push him? And him going coast to coast, post to post 2 weeks in a row, I feel like just shows it, especially against Fletcher and Allen, who are two completely different talents. But Fletcher, one of the best, and Allen as a hardcore wrestler, again, one of the best. Now, speaking of probably the best second-generation wrestler, it's Hook, detailing the Ops position. A few weeks ago, we had the World and the Trios Championship. Samoa Joe is out injured. Sean Ross Sapp says week to week. We don't have an official announcement about it yet. Samoa Joe is a Hall of Fame wrestler, but an intelligent leader. Hook has been nominated as interim boss. He's been the captain of every sports team he's ever been on. He's like, what, 22?
Young.
Yeah.
Young. I want to just 2 things here I want to say. So first, like, so yes, he's the boss, but with Samoa Joe out, aren't the Joppers the only one left because Hobbs is gone?
Shibata.
Oh, right. I forget that Shibata.
It was originally Joe, Shibata, and Hook. And then Hobbs came in when Hook was injured.
No, you're 100% right. Okay, so that leaves me a little more. And then 2, like, there's a thing in the back of my brain that's like, what if Hook's lying? What if Joe said nothing to him and he's like, well, I can just say this. Joe's not here. So, and then I wonder if that will kind of turn on its head when Joe does come back, or if it will be more of a Hook's like, well, look what I did while you were gone. I don't want to give it back up. So I feel like they're setting up for something there.
What did Hook do to Hangman? He lied. Ooh, I can't wait. So Hook is now in charge of the ops. So Shibata, the Joppers, and we'll see Samoa Joe hopefully soon. But next up, we've got Mina Shirakawa versus Viva Van. They fought together as a tag team in 2024 in a New Japan Pro Wrestling show in Chicago. In my head, did you hear me catch myself and go New Japan? Because I almost said New Jersey Pro Wrestling. And again, the joke is going to supersede the actual faction or the actual promotion. You got any moves here you want to talk about?
I really liked Viva. Like, she had some vicious knees in there. She ducks and slides under a Mina clothesline and gives the Eddie shoulders, right? There's a point where she locks in the straight jacket, and she looked really good. And she also had a really nice front kick. And then for Mina, it was right near the end when she hit a sling blade off the ropes.
Yeah, that's my move of the match, because then it's into the Cazadora, into a figure 4, and Van taps out. But Shafir comes out of the crowd with Mox and Yuta, and I've run it back 4 or 5 times. I don't know what Wheeler was saying, but I think he was asking if we supported an illegal alien.
Oh.
He said something, Alien Island. I don't know. I didn't get another chance to look.
I would say I'll have to go back, because I totally missed him seeing anything. I usually just ignore him no matter what, so I will have to go back.
A good procedure, nonetheless. But again, my rant a couple weeks ago. Lock in, folks. Lock in for this Callis Death Riders feud. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Because next up in mixed tag team action, we've got the Death Riders, Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta versus Skyflight, Dante Martin and Zeta Steele.
Did you notice how, because as Mina's going to leave up the ramp, they play the Death Rider song, and Mina's just standing there, obviously upset with Shafir, right? It was revealed the other week that she's the one that sent the flowers, right? That was the distraction the other week. And then Yuta comes out with clippers.
Yes. I was like...
So the start of it, I'm already like, all right, this is getting weird.
Moxley on commentary, he notes how this is an incredible challenge for Shafir and notes that, quote, a woman's hair is very important to her. Strange. My move of the match is Shafir catching Dante off the ropes and then tossing him over her head onto the floor for good measure.
I love the point where there's Yuta tags in and he goes to slam Zeta Steele, and Darius Martin just goes, whatever, screw it, and just hits a crossbody with no tag whatsoever, and then gets to stay in the match even though he never tagged in.
Did you also hear that Moxley notes that people think that Wheeler's hair is a weave?
No.
Our finish here is Skyflight defending against the Death Rider so far, but Zeta Steele is caught by Shafir, thrown into the mother's milk. A shotgun dropkick by Yuta for defense. Ref Aubrey Edwards calls it, rings the bell. Shafir goes up to the turnbuckle and flips off the crowd. Someone is going to lose their hair on Saturday. Yuta starts practicing by cutting Dante's hair. He fakes out, but he's actually going to go for Zeta Steele, but outruns Tony, wielding scissors, and goes for Shafir. Mox chuckles. He's not worried about any threats by Tony and Orange for his hair.
So literally, Tony has the scissors, like holding them, like I think of it like Psycho style, like
Norman.
And literally, like, she's just talking trash to both of them, and then you can clearly hear her say to Marina, just calls her a bald bitch. It's like, you're gonna be a bald bitch.
Never mind, I'm not going to say that. But Hater and Windsor are backstage drinking. I was going to say, like, they're bad bitches or something, Never mind. No, I weren't. But they deal with a bitch. They slam him into the bar, and they have a name now, the Brawling Birds. a fun little cinematic sequence.
I don't know how I feel about this name. Like, I got to see if they maybe they lean into it and it turns out cool. I'm kind of like,
What? Tell me, what's your hesitation here, my friend?
Birds do not instill. It's like brawling birds. It's like I don't know. It just doesn't really do it for me. Like, who knows? Maybe they'll play up the bird thing or something else from it. But it's just like
Birds of War.
Like right, like if it were something else, but just like the brawling birds, I'm just like, I don't know. And who knows? I'm sure they have a great plan. I bet they'll have merch that goes crazy. And
bird is like British
that.
slang for female, like woman. So I think that's what they're going for. They're trying to go for the alliteration.
Okay, it makes a little more sense than I know that.
Bards bite. The 3 listeners that we have in England hate me right now, but the 2 listeners that we have in Paris love me. MJF freaks out. You want to stick your nose into my business, Hangman? I hope you beat Andrade. Because if Andrade wins, don't worry, I'm about to drop the Hebrew hammer. Let me explain something to you, Brody. Tonight was a fluke. If it wasn't for that crooked cowboy, you wouldn't have had a chance. My back is up against the wall. That is when the devil is at his most dangerous. You want to bark? In Australia, I'm going to make you my bitch. Shivani notes that we just watched a brat throw a tantrum. And he loved Brody's performance. Next up, we've got Thekla with the Sisters of Sin versus Brittany Brooks. Oh no, Brittany. Tony notes that Thekla and Straplander might be the first women's strap match that he's seen. I do want to note that in my quick research today, I was able to find 2 strap matches from the Divas era of WWE. The first one is from the 1999 Royal Rumble. It was a strap match for the WWF Women's Championship. Sable defeated Luna Vachon to retain. Also important that year in 1999 in intergender wrestling, Chyna became the first woman to appear in the Rumble later in the program. Put Chyna in the Hall of Fame. Triple H, you coward. The other match is Trish Stratus versus Lita. Raw is War, July 24th, 2000.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the strap match. I'm interested to see how they do it because there are some strap matches that, again, it's akin to like the dog collar match or whatever, where it's like, right, they're tied together and you can use it as a weapon, right? But some it's you win by touching the 4 corners all in a row, right? But there have been some before that are just like pinfall submission. So I'm interested to see how they'll do it. I'm sure they got plenty already cooked up between, Sisters of Sin interfering. I'm sure Babes of Wrath will make an appearance. I'm sure it'll be all kinds of doctored up like that, but can't wait.
Speaking of can't wait, Thekla immediately goes for the spider move after knocking Brittany down. Spear, pin to win. 1, 2, 3. Jesus Christ. Thekla takes the belt off and starts to hit Brittany now. Bryce Remsburg tries to break it up, but Thekla scares him off. Thekla does the toxic spider over Brittany. Fantastic. If you're going to do a squash match, do it that way. Moxley speaks to the camera. I don't believe in failure. I believe in iteration. I love that. No matter what the world puts in front of us, we have to live with it. Takeshita has grown, evolved. We're both chasing our dragons. Only one of us is going to catch it. Ooh, we love some warrior philosophy, don't we? Next up, parking lot fight. Grizzled Young Veterans, Big Bill, Brian Keith versus Eddie Kingston and Ortiz, and the Rascals. Listen, my first hell yeah is that I love that they're doing this on top of a parking garage. The lights of Las Vegas twinkling beyond. It feels like, did you ever play Def Jam Fight for New York?
No, I'm aware of it and I've seen it. I've never played it.
The background was so very active and there was much going on and you could interact and engage with it. But like, have you ever been to Vegas?
No, I've not.
I once had the pleasure in 2015, the statute of limitations is way gone on this. 2 friends of the C Show and I snuck up to the roof of the Flamingo. The Flamingo was one of the original hotels, like set up by the mob in the 50s. We snuck up to the top of the Flamingo, and I mean, this was 2015. This was 11 years ago. I mean, it was just like lights as far out as you could see. And then it turns into desert and then it's dark. It's fascinating. And the whole town lights up too, especially like the strip area, the strip district and like Fremont area. And so you've got all this like sort of interesting stuff going on in the background. It really makes it really interesting to me. It really made it really interesting because you had this like, we often see everything in the ring and we know what the ring looks like. We know what a crowd looks like and how a crowd reacts to things. But there's so many different things that you can do with that. I just loved it. All right. Enough about me pontificating. Hit me with a hell yeah.
Oh my God, dude. My favorite was their use of weapons that you're like,
yes.
Oh, that will kill someone. And then like they do just enough to like make it like, it looks like Eddie has like, I swear to God, it looked like a hatchet. I couldn't tell what the first thing he had was.
Yeah.
Right. Swings, miss, breaks the window. Later, Big Bill throws a brick at Wentz, dodges, breaks the window.
I was like, and that's not a gimme brick either. That was like something where they had to be like, I'm going to throw a brick at your head and you need to move.
Like you need to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Like this is going to go one of two ways and it's up to you how it goes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The Rascals hit the hot fire off the top of the limo with Wentz doing the standing moonsault and Xavier pushing him into Brian Keith and Gibson. Big Bill literally catches Xavier off the top and throws him over the other side of the limo. Onto the concrete, for sure not a crash, but either way, still sick, don't care. There's a point where Xavier and Brian Keith just both have hammers and are just swinging them at each other crazy style.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And then this is where I take my victory lap of how they end up in the back of the limo.
Yeah.
And Wentz goes in and shuts the door. And then the limo is smoking. Literally in all caps, I have the limo is smoking. I called it.
Did you see the limo shaking too? So they're fighting and smoking in there.
Well, no, and then I love
medicating.
I don't know if you caught this. So Keith gets out and is coughing crazy. Wentz then comes out and calls him a lightweight and just kicks him square in the face.
Kingston and Ortiz with the double suplex on top of the limo. Eddie noting, that sucks. That fucking sucks.
Right, they had to bleep him out.
And Eddie was just like, fuck this, fuck that. Like, some other hell yes. Okay, my one note was that they had to be really careful with the limo because that's a Bentley limo. Yeah, exactly. Right. So be careful with that. So that's why they didn't break any windows on that because that's super expensive. You can do body work on that. That's not a problem. The kendo stick and like the part where Eddie is just like kind of like swinging around, just kind of like drunkenly, like, wow, like that's real.
It's giving big Simpsons like where they're kicking and swinging their arms. It's like, if you could hit, it's your fault.
If you could hit, it's your fault. Isla Dawn comes out at one point.
What did she hit Ortiz? Was that just a piece of drywall?
Yes.
Like it's okay. That's
that was
what
a
I thought.
piece
It
of
just
drywall.
like shatters. I'm like, that was awesome.
Yes. Oh, and because drywall is just like it's pieces of tape with mud. It's like it's paper with mud in the middle. And so when you break it over somebody's head, you not only get like big chunks of drywall and then little pieces, but you also get dust. And so it's a fantastic visual. It's a fantastic visual there.
Dude, and right after that, Myron Reed comes out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a dive off the car. He like literally like Isla Dawn now is a pipe and goes to hit him and he's kind of like grabs her arm and just picks her up and throws her in the back of a car. I'm like, can we still do this?
The grizzled young veterans choking out Kingston with the scarf. This is how it started. This is how it'll end. But Kingston and Ortiz want to finish this. Kingston DDT on the top of the car. Pin to win. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
And I loved how they stayed in the parking lot after. And there's the moment when Ortiz, Eddie, and the Rascals all kind of come together and they literally go pick up Wentz. Got, I think it was choke slammed through a windshield.
He was bleeding in the forehead.
And
too.
they literally peel him off the windshield. He's like, did we win? And he's like, yeah, we won. Let's go medicate.
Let's go medicate. Can we go medicate now? Xavier asks. Shivani notes, there are no winners in this. Everyone will need medical attention. Excalibur notes that the foursome will have a well-deserved smoke break after that. Next up, we've got Lexi Nair talking with Roderick Strong. Things haven't been going according to Roderick's expectations. Briscoe comes in, loves the initiative. It's going to be a hell of a fight because me and Ciampa had a hell of a fight. And if you win, you should give your conglomerator the first shot. But Roderick lays it down. Thanks for the words of encouragement, but I'm not in the conglomeration. So we see this continue. What will Roderick do next? What will Roddy do next? But for the meantime, he's got a TNT Championship 3-way match with Claudio Castagnoli and Tommaso Ciampa. Castagnoli has a new luchador mask that he's wearing, Death Riders themed. He is the CMLL World Heavyweight Champion still. Strong goes immediately for Castagnoli. They have unfinished business, and Ciampa wants him too. Him and Strong start chopping each other, leaving off from where they left off in ROH. But Castagnoli catches Strong and dumps him face first on the apron.
God, there were so many good things, man. Like I love Ciampa. Like we were covering WWE, I love Ciampa. Like he hits a flatliner DDT combo on the two of them. I love the kind of story they told where early on Claudio tries to double suplex Strong and Ciampa, but they end up suplexing him. They come back that later and Claudio hits it. I thought that was awesome. And then like my whole series that was awesome is Claudia kicks Ciampa off the top rope. He then comes in and catches Claudio and slams him. Ciampa has climbed back to the top rope, and I described it as Roderick Strong meets him at the mountaintop with a drop kick. Ciampa's coming off the top, and Strong got so much air and kicked him square in his chest when he was coming off. I didn't know he's got hops like that. Like, oh my God, he got up.
That was incredible. I was amazed that Strong did that. Outside the ring, the sequence that I loved was Castagnoli slamming Strong on his chest on the barricade. Ciampa attacks Anita Strong on the barricade. Castagnoli picks up Ciampa and then drops him face first on the commentary desk. Also, Ciampa's draping DDT on the ropes. The Angel's Wing, the modified power bomb, pulls down the knee pads. Castagnoli catches him and giant swings him. Trying to think anything else.
So right after that, there's a point where Strong is getting covered by Claudio and Ciampa's like is playing like knocked out next to him, and the ref is counting and he goes 1, 2, and Ciampa sticks his hand up to try and like keep the ref from hitting 3, even though that he kicks out anyway. But I love the idea that the match could stop. It's like, well, you didn't actually hit 3, so which is true. Like, if he doesn't count 3, like it. But that would have been so funny if he didn't kick out and Ciampa just grabs his arm and holds it.
But Ciampa does break Castagnoli's pin on Strong with the running knee and then steals the pin 1, 2, 3 to retain. Kyle Fletcher on the ramp. But what does it look like he have in his back pocket? It makes his ass look so big. Oh, it was a microphone. Kyle asks Ciampa, "How does it feel, champ? How does it feel to be all elite? How does it feel that you will never fill my shoes?" Well, yeah, because most people wear socks, Kyle. So like, I don't know if Ciampa's feet would fit in there with the socks. He was wearing those loafers with no back and no socks. Dog, from my experience of not wearing socks, your shoes start to stank.
I just want to point out, because I had to write down, it was so funny. Kyle Fletcher was talking about, he's like, "Oh, I was going to get my title back from Mark Briscoe, but you threw a spanner in the works."
Yes. Do you know what a spanner is?
No, I assume some kind of wrench, like through a wrench. Like, but again, just hearing him go, "You threw a spanner in the works," I was laughing.
It's a traditional wrench.
Okay.
So it's a monkey wrench, essentially. Yeah, no. It's basically any sort of wrench. Yeah, British slang. I'll cut that. Me going, Kyle formally introduces himself. He wants to be a 2-time TNT champion. He wants to walk into Grand Slam Australia in Sydney, his hometown, and get the hero's welcome he deserves. Next week on Dynamite, for the 4th time ever, Fletcher versus Ciampa for the TNT Championship. Ciampa hoists the belt, then gives him a peck on the cheek. Next Wednesday, you'll find out what the best really looks like. And listen, we'll talk a little bit more about next Dynamite on Wednesday and Grand Slam Australia. But Connor, do you have any final notes here before we move on to that?
No, everything else I'm thinking about I'll kind of hit in our outro here as we kind of touch up on what's to come.
And we'll have more here on The C Show. Welcome back to The C Show. We're previewing some upcoming action here. We've got Dynamite in Ontario, California on the 11th of February. We've got 4 big matches here. We've got the AEW Women's Championship. It's a strap match. Chris Statlander versus Thekla. Does Statlander retain here, or does Thekla make it toxic time?
She probably retains, but again, especially like a stipulation match like this, there's so much more room for weirdness to come in. I don't think she's done with this run yet, but I'm so excited for this match.
I definitely think we will have some shenanigans from the Sisters of Sin, but I think the Babes of Wrath will win out for Statlander in the assist there. Next up, in a three-way tag team #1 contenders match to face off against FTR, we've got the Rascals and the Young Bucks to face off against To Be Determined. So first off, who do you think is going to be determined to face off against the Rascals and the Young Bucks here?
Man, I kept thinking about that, and I really couldn't land on anything. Like, right, if Davis and Doyle were still both healthy, I feel like that's the
would
answer. Super easy.
And an update there, Doyle is week to week as well.
Okay. Like, right, maybe the Death Riders weasel their way in and get whatever 2 out there.
That
like,
makes sense.
If Kyle Fletcher wasn't already having his TNT title match, I'd be like, oh, maybe we'll get, Pro Takata or what do they call with him and Takeshita? Because he had one too.
Proto Keshita. Yes, Proto Keshita. Or another combination from the Callis family. You could do the 2 luchadors in Clone and Hechicero. You could do Alexander and Lance Archer. There's a lot of different combinations there. And I think what we're going to get is a great match with the Rascals, the new faces, the Young Bucks, the old heads, and then in between, whoever's there, it's going to be good. We've also got Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland in a face-to-face interview. Now, when a face-to-face interview is announced like this ahead of time, what should we expect?
So it usually falls into 2 categories, right? There's either the we've agreed to no physicality during this, right? And the kind of heated exchange, or they haven't agreed to that and it will end up breaking out into some kind of fight where security will separate them, then they'll both beat the hell out of security.
Fascinating. Well, we'll have an update for that on the next episode of the C Show. But on the next episode of Dynamite, we've got Ciampa defending the TNT title against Kyle Fletcher. I think this will be a cracker of a match. I think Takeshita is going to interfere. Or perhaps even one Don Callis.
I agree. There will definitely be something there, but I'm wondering if they'll try and they will try and interfere. It will actually cost Kyle, and then it will kind of make that rift amongst them all a little wider.
I think that sounds it. That sounds like it's going to be it. And then effectively our February pay-per-view, Grand Slam Australia. There is a house show Sunday night. I did not get to that yet because we will not be watching it, but we will be talking about it. We will be covering it in case there are any updates there. But at Grand Slam Australia, we've got a lot going on. We've got a championship match for the men's title in MJF versus Brody King. I mean, we talked about it earlier. There's no plans for Brody to be the champion right now, but things can always change. Do you think MJF is going to retain here? Do you think that's the look?
Unfortunately, yes. I'm sure by some kind of, shenanigans or something else. But then part of me is also like, there's so many people that want the worst for MJF that, we could easily get a Hangman interference again or something else. But I really do think, unfortunately, MJF's going to hold on.
Swerve now has a more legitimate case to dislike MJF and, go for that title as well. Kenny, Andrade, there's a lot going on here. So many different threads, and we'll see how they all twine together. Speaking of twining together, Mixed Tornado Tag Team Hair Match, Tony Storm and Orange Cassidy versus the Death Riders of Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta. I hope Wheeler Yuta loses his hair.
That's my first thought of who it was because, they could do it that's Orange Cassidy, and he's like, well, I don't care anyway. But, I feel like it's not as good. I feel like it's got to be someone who really has, hair, and that's their bit. Especially Yuta always having that. I feel like that could be good, right? Then maybe he channels his inner Mox and Claudio. And now that I think about it, a good chunk of the Death Riders are riding the low cut or no cut.
Do you think Shafir gets her head shaved and then Wheeler decides to shave it in solidarity?
No, he's a coward.
My other thought is this is the next evolution of Tony Storm, and they're going to shave her head, and it's going to be like Timeless is over. this is the future and it's the next evolution of Toni Storm. Because she used to have like that whole rocker shtick, the 80s rocker shtick, and then she was timeless. She's now timeless. I think a new gimmick might be interesting, but I love timeless Toni Storm. I will always love timeless Toni Storm.
Yeah, I don't think it's time for that. Like, usually the character change
She's
comes at
so
a time
over,
where things feel stale, and like people go back to like, well, you know, Undertaker was still over when he did his thing. It's like that was a whole different ballpark. Like, timeless Toni has been such a staple of AEW that like I don't think it's time just to pull the rug out from that.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, we've got Hangman Adam Page versus Andrade. The winner faces AEW's Men's Championship. The winner faces the AEW Men's title holder at Revolution in Los Angeles in March.
I think Andrade pulls this out. Like, they've been pushing him really hard since he comes, again, puts more of the Don Callis family forward. I think Andrade, again, probably through some evil means, pulls this out.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Andrade will pull some shenanigans. Over under on the size of the party of Andrade's fans. Because I think it was 5 this time.
I'll set it at 7.5.
I'm going to go over. Speaking of over, in the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship, we've got the Babes of Wrath versus Megabad.
The Babes probably win this one. Like that's the other thing with, like, as much as I love the Eliminator matches, like, right, like, I always talk about, like, no matter the sport, no matter what, it's hard to beat a good opponent twice.
Yes.
And Penelope Ford's still kind of working her way back in. Like, don't get me wrong, she's looked great. She hasn't looked rusty, but I feel like they'll want to build her a little more before they put anything on them.
Absolutely. And last but certainly not least, in the AEW Continental Championship, it's Moxley versus Takeshita. Does Takeshita steal back the Continental Championship?
Man,
for Moxley?
I would love that, but I really don't know. This is one that's really a toss-up to me. I feel like either way it goes, both guys can really extend themselves forward. Like, Takeshita could win it, and then he could kind of go into a thing with Okada where it's like, all right, let's unify it. Let's put it together, right? Mox could win and be like, see, right, you just keep going, you keep pushing, it doesn't matter. This one's really a toss-up for me. If I had to wager, I would say Mox retains.
Yeah,
but
same.
Either way, we know it's going to be hard-hitting. They're going to be in each other's faces, and it's going to go.
Well, if you want to listen to a podcast that's in your face and it's hard-hitting, you know where to go. It's The C Show. Of course you like The C Show. Make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share it with your friend. You can support the show directly at coffee.com/cshowpod. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Blue Sky, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube at C Show Pod. Have a question for the boys? Send an email, cshowpod@gmail.com. Thanks to our friends, Amir, Patrick, and Justin for their assistance. The C Show is a production of 832 Media. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll be back next week.